obviously, when you win a major and you get the taste of it, I know you haven't done that. You haven't got that.
I was about to say we don't know.
I played in a couple. That's all I got.
But all jokes, when you get the taste of it, you want more and more.
Here we go, episode 2, Golf Subpar, with my man Drew Stoltz. I am Colt Knost. What's happening, buddy?
Good to be with you. Week 2, coming off a big week 1 with Johnny Rahm. Week 2, another big dog, Gary Woodland
US Open
in
champ.
the building.
People's champ.
The People's Champ. Absolutely.
I think when you win the US Open, you're officially the People's Champ.
Yeah, that's the one for the people. And he is very much middle U.S. guy. You know what I mean? Grew up not even playing golf. That's people's champ. And he let you hang out with the trophy one night in Vegas.
He did. Thank God I have pictures and videos because I don't remember much of it, but I know I had a good time with it.
That's why you never won a major, because you couldn't handle the responsibility of keeping the trophy alive for a year. That would be a tough.
I will be
gig,
honest.
By the way.
You say that I won the USAM, and I lost the trophy one night.
I remember when you
USGA, if you're listening, it's fine. I found it.
I remember when you won it, like it was on the 17th green or whatever. You picked it up and the lid fell off of the thing right on the top. Bad look right away.
Well,
that should be molded
I thought it was
on
like
there.
a lid.
That should be molded. Yeah, you wouldn't think it could fall off.
I didn't know it'd just fly off.
But like the Stanley Cup, when guys win the Stanley Cup, everyone gets to spend a day with it. How is that thing still intact? You know, with all the stuff those guys do with it.
It's if it could talk.
Yeah,
the stories
that would be a good documentary. Follow the Stanley Cup for every guy's day with it. That's an idea.
Brilliant idea.
Another idea for Golf.com. Here we are. Idea guys, just coming up with gold content. Speaking of gold content, Gary Woodland is upcoming. But Colty, there's a lot going on right now. A lot of celebrity golf being played right now, right? We had you got Palm Springs, you got some celebs out there. Phoenix Open, all the dudes show up on Wednesday. Then you just had Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Shout out to Larry Fitz and Kevin Streelman for winning that for the second time. But a lot of celebrities playing golf, a lot of golf being recorded. I want to know right now, your dream foursome, if you were going to be in one of these celebrity events, but you could create your celebs that you get to play with, who you got?
Oh,
yeah,
man.
It's tough. That's a thinker, dude.
It's tough.
That's a thinker.
Well, I'm going to go with the people I grew up.
Yeah, don't just name like 3 smoke show actresses. That's the easy out.
They're going to be in actual golf. Okay.
Actual golfers.
Michael Jordan, favorite athlete of all time.
That's fair.
Loves to golf, loves to gamble.
It's fair.
Likes his tequila. We got a lot in common other than I'm
elite
short,
athletes,
white, and fat.
Yeah, short, white, fat,
kind of the same person.
And tall, black, greatest athlete ever. But other than that, close. Yeah,
we like a lot of the same things.
Yep.
Charles Barkley, even though he sucks at golf, he's so entertaining.
Yeah, that's
another big gambler.
Yeah,
as well. And then, I mean, to be honest, being golf growing up, it's hard not to pick Tiger Woods.
Wow, you're going all athletes across the board here.
I am. I don't really care. I'm a sports guy, Drew. I don't care about much else.
Yeah, good point.
Those are my 3.
Very one-dimensional.
I mean, how about that? Colt Knost, Tiger Woods, Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan.
The stars are out.
I don't know if anyone could pick me out.
The stars are out. They'd be like, who's this caddy with all these stars?
And it will be at Shadow Creek in Las Vegas. I'll even pick the place for you.
Yeah, okay. That's fitting. That's a fitting venue for that
foursome. Spend the whole weekend together. Just the 4 of us.
All right, I'm going to play right behind you at Shadow.
Okay.
Also.
Okay.
I'm going a total different route with you. I have no golfers. In fact, a couple of my guys, I don't know if they've ever picked up a club. First one definitely has my all-time favorite guy, Larry David. Gotta have LD.
Big golfer, actually.
LD in the mix. You know, we could talk about next season ideas for Curb, my all-time favorite show, and a big golf guy. So he would fit the mix. Never would be a dull moment with Larry. My B player, I'm going Jamie Foxx, my guy. We're gonna need to talk about making the movie about my life. You know, I'm gonna make sure he's dialed in on all the different angles that he needs to, all the depth of the character that he's gonna have to play. Jamie Foxx, pretty sure he's never played golf before. Doesn't matter. He can just ride around in the cart. 3, I'd probably have to go with my other guy, Marshall Mathers.
Oh.
Yeah, we could probably collab. Grouping. You know, we both, we came up in the rap game together, basically. And we'd have a lot to talk about there. And then if I could have a caddy, I'd have Joe Pesci.
Okay, well, that was
so I have no
part
golfers.
Of the deal.
I just added that in
First
at the
off,
end.
I don't know if Larry David's going to be comfortable playing with you,
he's comfortable, dude.
and Jamie Foxx.
That's what would make it so great is like all the awkward conversation. Larry would drive it forward with all. If anyone can bring those 4 people together, it's LD. That would be dream force. We'll play right behind you.
Oh, I can't wait for the 19th hole.
Oh,
what a time that's
that would be fun though. That would be.
Oh, it's incredible.
That'd be incredible. So
and then
those would be my boys.
Foursome will play your foursome in hoops and for everything.
I think LD could be sneaky. Could be sneaky nice, dude. Like a little Pistol Pete, skinny white guy with the socks. Yeah,
that'd be fun. If we can make that happen, anybody can make that happen out there. That'd be fantastic. All right, Drew, now let's get into one of our favorite segments that we started last week called Funny Money, where we discuss some of our greatest gambling stories, pranks, whatever else there is, amongst tour guys or some of our good friends out there. What do you got for me this week?
Yeah, I got a little story. I'm going to stay with the trend of talking about times that I've beat tour players because they're few and far between, so I need to fluff myself here early in this podcast.
This is a long show, bud. You don't want to give them all out right at the start.
I got 3 weeks worth of content, and then we're out. Then I'm going to have to go. Let me talk about the time I beat my dad out of 20. Yeah, a little funny money story. Okay, I'll give you one. A few years back, we were playing in the Twin Fin here in Scottsdale, which is a pro scratch event here. A lot of tour pros come in from out of town. Sean O'Hara was playing with a good friend of ours who's from Scottsdale. I had never met Sean, never been around him. We played. I'm sorry, the tournament ended. We ended up tying with Sean O'Hara. So we sit down, we're having drinks, we're having a good time, just shooting the breeze, as they call it. And we're like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Let's grab a game at Whisper Rock. And he's like, yeah, let's go out there and play. So we get out there, we get to the first tee, and he's like, all right, what's the bet? And I was like, he asked me if I wanted shots again. I was like, you are out of your, I'm going to destroy you around this place, right? We got good banter going. So at the end of the day, I was like, I'll bet you my 400 against if I win, you pay me 0. But the next time you're interviewed on TV, you have to mention my name. I was like, you can say whatever you want to say about me. I'll let you script it, but my name has to be mentioned in full. Drew Stoltz must come out of your mouth. You can say whatever you want. And he's like, done. It's over. So I'm railing. I was like, you'll never get on TV. The only time you win anything is when you got Steve Stricker on your team. You know, like, I don't even know if you'll be there, all this stuff. So we get going. I thump him, end up winning. We shake hands right there. I'm like, I can't wait for you to hopefully get in contention at some point this year. And I look forward to seeing what you're saying. Shakes my hand, says, it'll happen. It's all good. Fast forward, a year goes by, comes back to the Twin Fin the next year. He'd been on TV multiple times because I had seen him. He'd gotten interviewed. He'd had the opportunity to do it. And every time I saw it and he didn't do it, I was like, are you out of your mind? Like, have you forgotten this bet? There's no way you can forget about it because I remind you every single week. Like, good luck this week. Can't wait for you to drop my name.
You're actually rooting for him to play well.
He was the first guy. Yeah, I was rooting for him to play well, but only for me, for selfish reasons. Comes back, had never mentioned it. I was like, you're out of your mind. You owe me 10 grand. That's, you can't squelch on your bet, all this stuff. And he says, I'll tell you this right now. I'll play you again today, straight up. It'll be my $2,000. If you beat me, I'll give you 2 grand and say your name. And if I beat you, the bet's over. It's washed. And I didn't want to even take it. I was like, no, a bet's a bet. You got to do it. Anyways, long story short, he goes out 7 under through 15, closes me out like 5 and 4, whatever it was. Dirt nap over, no chance. And then the bet went to bet. And he's like, that's it. Never saying your name ever again and stuff. So anyways, Sean O'Hara, I did beat him the first time. He squelched on the bet. So if you see him out there, make sure you remind him that he still owes me. I have a hard time just letting him get away scot-free with that. So that's what I got.
I definitely think I would have held out and made him.
Yeah, but the 2 grand at the time, I was like, yeah, 2 grand, that goes a long way.
All right, I'll give you mine. Mine actually doesn't involve me, but I was there when it all went down.
Okay, interesting.
So we're playing the second playoff event, the Deutsche Bank at Boston. Okay, and it's Thursday afternoon. Charlie Hoffman played early. John Mallinge and I are having lunch, getting ready to go out before the afternoon round. Charlie shoots like 64 in the morning. They're interviewing him. All of a sudden, they're like, how'd you do it so well? This course normally doesn't give up scores like that. All this. And he's like, well, I went out early. There was no wind and the greens were really moist. And all of a sudden, this just shit-eating grin comes across his face. And Mallinger goes, no! And I'm like, what just happened? He goes, we had a $200 bet. First person to say moist on air. It's 200. and so John lost.
Snuck it in.
But you could just see Charlie's grin.
Yeah.
Just light up. And those are some of the fun bets that people don't know
Those
about.
are great bets.
They're great. You work them into interviews.
Say, here's your word. You got to put it in.
Yeah, and it's great. So Charlie won. John lost. And
that was a good use of moist, too.
Because moist is tough to get in there.
It's a tough one to squeeze in, unless the greens are, in fact, moist.
Yes.
But
it's such a good word. But we'll have so many more of those stories coming up in later episodes. But now it's time for Colt versus Drew. Producer Mark, what do you got for us this week?
Producer Mark.
All right, first question. Player interviews mid-round. Fair game or out of bounds?
Out of bounds. Totally hate them. Totally interrupts things. It's not basketball. It's golf. We're supposed to be focused out there. I don't like it.
Yeah, I think it's trash. I think you're going to get garbage interviews. Every person just want to say the most generic thing in the world. Get the camera out of my face. Let me get back to playing golf. In theory, they're a good idea. They're not going to work.
Another major topic on tour recently. Hitting distance. Real problem or overreaction?
You're a good
it's a real problem, but they don't have a solution. I'll say that. But yes, it definitely is a real problem. Things are getting a little out of hand with the only thing that matters now is distance. hitting the ball straight should honestly be a big part of the game. And right now it's not. So I say it's a big problem.
I'll go the other side and say not a big problem. And the reason I say that is I think there's an easy solution. That's grow rough up way higher, firm out the fairways, firm out the greens. You do that right there, scores are going to get higher. And if you put a premium on hitting the fairway, you're going to see fewer guys hitting driver on every single hole as hard as they can. So I think, is it a problem? Not really, because I think you can tweak the golf courses to counteract that.
All right.
Boom.
More likely to win a major this year, Phil Mickelson or Jason Day?
I will go. My honor now. I'll go Jason Day. He's not healthy all that often. If he could stay away from stubbing his toe and the bird flu and all the other things that he gets, and can stay healthy, his good golf is really, really good. And the way he plays golf with high bombs, everything, he drives it so well, putts it so well. I would say Jason Day. It's just a matter of can he stay healthy or not.
Totally wrong.
Okay.
Totally wrong. He's already talking about retirement. B, he's not going to stay healthy. And C, Phil is as physically fit as he's ever been.
Yes.
He's hitting bombs. And I'm telling you, the golfing gods are going to shine down on this guy. Winged foot, U.S. Open. He's going to get in.
You think it comes
He's
full
going to make
circle?
up for the triple bogey
This is
on the
quite the
72nd
prediction
hole.
here, right here.
Phil Mickelson gets his U.S. Open and completes the career Grand Slam.
Well, yeah, that'd be, if you're writing a movie, that would be the right script. But I'm a realist. Okay. All right, that's fair.
At least my guy's going to be in the field. Your guy's sitting on the couch. Hurt.
Yeah, you could come down with a number of ailments
Paper
in
cut
this time.
out.
Yeah, exactly. 6 to 8 weeks.
All right. More likely future guest on Subpar, Tiger Woods or Anthony Kim?
Anthony Kim. Anthony Kim, the white whale of the golf world, the guy we want more than anything. We both have a relationship with him, played a lot of college golf with him. You know him real well from Dallas and all that stuff. If anyone in the golf world can get Anthony Kim out of hiding wherever he is, he's like Sasquatch. You hear stories about him all the time. No one can really validate them. Anthony Kim, definitely more risky. You think Tiger Woods going to get in the studio with us? I go Anthony Kim times 100.
I would kill for either one of them,
Yeah.
to be honest. But I think we have a better shot of getting Anthony Kim as well.
Tiger's PR people would see one episode of this and be like, nope, we're good. Thanks. We're going to do Oprah instead.
They would love it.
Yeah.
Tiger's losing up. If we could ever get him in Scottsdale, I think we can make it happen. We have a much better chance of tricking Anthony into coming to Scottsdale.
Yeah, we can con
tell
him
there's a
into
poker
it.
game or something.
Exactly. Tell him there's a big game. Yeah, exactly.
We'll get him out
We
of here.
got a couple tables at the club, dude. It's all taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Swoop.
All right, we're pretty close right now. Better taste in music, Colt or Drew?
Oh, God.
Go.
First off, you should
Go.
listen to him when he plays music on the golf course. It's the most ridiculous
It's
thing
good,
I've ever
guys.
heard. We'll hear
I'm cultured.
Tupac
Yep.
to opera music,
Whitney Houston.
back to country,
A lot of musicals.
to reggae.
All
It's
these-
awful. It's
yeah,
terrible.
I have
I'm
a
a country
wide
guy.
range.
It's not even close. Hands down, I win this.
No, wrong. It's me by a million. I'm very cultured. I have a very large spectrum of things that I like. Colt is very narrow. He likes one thing. If it doesn't happen, if the guy's singing it's not wearing boots, he doesn't listen to it. So
That's
I
not
have
true.
way
I
more.
like hip hop.
Way more.
I just don't go reggae to hip hop to country and mix it all around. I like to get in the mood and go.
No, dude, you're steak and potatoes every night. I eat the buffet. All you can eat. Boom. I sample all of
the
it.
cheap stuff.
And it's good.
The
yeah,
cheap stuff.
if it's on the house. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, in honor of diversity, we need to keep the winners changing. So, diverse music
that is
tastes.
not how this
Yes.
works.
Diverse music tastes.
Yes.
Victory.
That's producer Mark.
Victory
Official
to Drew.
word.
That's not how this works. You
Put
pick
it on
who
the
honestly
board.
won. It has nothing to do with
Put it on the board. Don't question the judging. Don't question the judging. Good decision this week.
It was a great answer.
Nice bounce back from last
You
week.
won
Mark.
it for him by pointing out his diversity.
All right. He made my argument
ridiculous.
for me.
My Phil Mickelson answer should have won hands down.
Yeah, that was just you playing favorites, though.
No, it wasn't.
You're catering
It
to
was a
Phil.
Brilliant answer.
Okay. Fair. 1-1.
All right. Well, even though I totally disagree with producer Mark's decision, it is now 1-1. Drew, I'll give it to you. Congrats on your victory this week. But now let's get to the main event, and that is U.S. Open champion Gary Woodland, who sat down with us here on the Subpar podcast. We are pleased to be joined by U.S. Open champion Gary Woodland. Gary, welcome to the show, bud.
Thanks. I'm glad you're pleased to have me.
Yeah, it's very pleasing. You know, Drew and I were talking kind of before the show. You know, we've known each other for quite a long time, and you know, this friendship was a lot more fun when we could go to restaurants and shit and not get interrupted for pictures and autographs and signing babies and all this. Then you had to go get famous. It's really not that fun to hang out with you anymore, except for you pay the tab.
Yeah, I'm a good payer.
You are. We appreciate that.
Thanks. I still enjoy myself the same before as I do now.
He probably enjoys it more.
It's a good
being
point.
that he gets his Gets all the attention, gets stuff for free.
He gets a lot of attention from old dudes. It's incredible. They love him.
Attention is attention.
No, but Gary, we're really happy you're here. Won the U.S. Open this past year at Pebble Beach. 4 total wins on the PGA Tour. Member of the President's Cup team. What's next?
Well, I need to win again. Obviously, when you win a major and you get the taste of it, I know you haven't done that. You haven't got that.
I was about to say we don't know.
I played a couple. That's all I got.
But all jokes, when you get the taste of it, you want more and more. And the big deal is you got to hone in those expectations because, all of a sudden you win the biggest tournament, in the world at the time. And now all of a sudden you want to win every week and you expect to win. And that obviously hadn't happened. But you got to manage expectations, but you got to get to work and you got to get better because that week was really good for me. I did a lot of good stuff, especially with a short game that I haven't done, especially in major championships. And I need to continue to do that and continue to improve. But what I kind of lost after that U.S. Open was the short game won me that tournament. My short game was phenomenal. I think I led the field in putting. I was up there in chipping, which it doesn't happen very much, as you would know. And so I tried to get so much better at my short game after that golf tournament. I lost my ball striking. I've lived and died on my ball striking my whole career. So I need to make sure I continue to do what I do well and improve the other areas as much as I can at a slower pace than trying to just jump in all in and do it all at once. So I learned that lesson the hard way. I played bad, for about 2 months after the U.S. Open, kind of got back to what I did. Ball struck the end of the year and played really well at the end of the year all the way through the President's Cup.
Some of that 2-month stretch I would have to be as a result of celebrating a little bit after that. What did that look like? You win the deal at Pebble. Unbelievable moment. What's the next? Give us the next. I know you're on the Today Show and all that, but give us like a 2-week what it looked like right after that.
It was a big night that night at the
Where'd
tap
y'all
room.
go?
Straight to the tap room.
Smart.
I had media for like 3 hours. I was starving. I got there. Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas waited for me. When I showed up at tap room, they were way ahead of me.
Okay.
So I'm pretty good at getting caught up pretty quick. So
We'll catch up.
I had to get caught up, which was awesome. The best part of that, so I've obviously never seen the U.S. Open trophy, never touched it. So I get it. And for the record, Jordan Spieth had already won this trophy, so I don't blame this all on myself. And so I'm like, we got to drink out of this thing, right?
Of course.
So I can't get the lid off. And so Jordan's like, no, I think they welded it on. I don't think it comes off anymore. So we turn it upside down and we pour a bottle of vodka and we're drinking out of the bottom.
Out of the bottom of it. Okay.
Well, the USGA has a table of a room down below the tap room, and somebody had texted them and told them Gary Woodland's drinking out of the bottom of the trophy. So the guy comes up. He's like, hey, can I talk to you?
No.
I'm like, am I in trouble? He goes, no, you idiot. The trophy, the lid comes off. You had twist. We're trying to pull it. So
wow, they must have been way ahead of you if you can't figure out how to twist off lid.
Jordan Spieth had won 3 years prior, so I blame him for that. But anyway, we finally got it out of the open at the top of the trophy. We drank out of there for a long time, and I went straight from there to New York, spent some time in New York, had a great time doing the media stuff, it's a lot, but was really cool. And then, we've drank my friends that kind of have just an open door. They come in and start drinking out of the trophy just on a random Tuesday at home. So it's been a lot, but it's been really good. I mean, it's not a bad thing.
Do you take that with you? I think Colt has a story. Has it gone anywhere with you since like the immediate aftermath of winning it?
The only time I traveled with it was Butch Harmon wanted to drink out of it. He's like, hey, we won this. I've been with Butch for a long time, and it was pretty meaningful. So I'm like, I don't want to carry this thing through the airport. So I took the lid off and I put it in my carry-on and just carried it through the airport like nothing happened. So going through security, did it all, got to Vegas, Butch and I hung out with it, and lo and behold, the tournament was there the next week, the Shriners, and Colt's in town, and Colt's asking me for this trophy.
Colt's dying. Yo, bring that trophy.
I'm like, I get kind of embarrassed walking around with it. Like, I don't want to just be that guy.
That's the difference between you and Colt and me.
Yeah. And so we're in Vegas, and I was not sober.
Yeah, finally, Colt's like, it was Wednesday, or I don't know if you know what night it was. I'm like, here's the deal. I don't want to be seen with it, but I will bring it to you as long as you promise not to break it. I'll go eat dinner, and then I'll come back, and I'll get the trophy back. I'm eating dinner with my wife at Javier's in Vegas, and Colt walks up, full. It has 1942 in the tequila, and he had wrote his name and tape and put it underneath mine. 2020.
2020 coming.
Yeah, it was future.
Knost.
I mean, I had more people text me, "Hey, I didn't know the trophy was there." Blah, blah. I'm like, Colt had more fun with that trophy that night, I think, than I've had.
I don't blame you, dude. You get 2 hours with the U.S. Open trophy, you send it.
He literally texted me. He goes, "Hey, is everything good? You got the trophy?" I was like, "Dude, I haven't let it out of my sight." And I went to the bathroom at Ari, and I had my buddy. I'd had it while I was at the urinal holding it. I was like, "Dude, I got it. We're good. Don't worry about it." But I had a great time with it. It was fun.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be fun.
You said you kind of struggled for 2 months after it. Does that make like what Tiger Woods did back in his prime just even more amazing? He wins and then he wins again and wins again and wins again.
I mean, it's literally unbelievable. I mean, you look at guys, who Justin Thomas, who I think arguably is the best player in the world. Week in, week out, the guy is unbelievable. He wins Maui, and then he didn't play his best the next week, and missed a cut. Maybe it's because he was staying with you. I don't know, but he misses the cut. Tiger Woods won every week. And big golf tournaments. He'd win Akron and then go win the PGA Championship the next week.
He wasn't playing any opposite field events.
Unbelievable what the guy
fact
did.
He won 7 in a row at one point. I know it was 10, 12 years ago, but still just
I don't care.
And there's might be a week off here or there, but it's just like, God, every time you tee it up, he's right there. He never has a down week. And that's just so hard.
And I think that's the mental part that sets him aside from it. It's a big, you won the USAM, you understand you win a big event, for us who haven't won a lot, when you win any tour event, that's a big deal.
Ever. Yeah.
And you come out the next week and there's more media, there's more expectations. You don't get the preparation you got in the week before. That was the big deal. When I showed up, I had 1 week off after the US Open. I showed up in Detroit. I've always got to golf tournaments on Tuesday. I played 9 holes and I played the Pro-Am on Wednesday. When I showed up on Tuesday, I had so many people talking to me, congratulating, which was great, but I didn't get any work in on Tuesday. I show up on Wednesday. I have media. I have, sponsor obligations, blah, blah. I got hardly any work in, and I played horrible that week. Tiger has done that every week. Even when he doesn't win, he handles all that media and the expectations and people talking to him. So it's phenomenal what he's done. And obviously we are where we are because of him and what he's done for the game.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So with winning your first major championship, what's the coolest thing that's come from that? Whether it be a text from someone you never thought you would have talked to, or whether it's something you got to
something
do.
That wouldn't have happened had you not won the U.S. Open.
You definitely wouldn't have been on this podcast.
I was going to say, Brooks Koepka would be in this chair right now. We'd be having a great time talking about bench press and how to get swole.
I had some unbelievable text messages from people from other sports, which I think is really cool. I love sports, and Chris Paul and some baseball guy, a lot of guys that I've looked up to text me, which was awesome to reach out for them. I got invited to a dinner in D.C., which I know nothing about politics, so I'm not going to even talk about it. But it was Secretary of Defense, Secretary of State, some senators, some ambassadors, and my wife and I show up at this dinner, and there's 16 people at the dinner, and we're going around, and everybody's asking me, what's changed since I won the U.S. Open. I'm like, I never would have been at this dinner ever if I didn't win the U.S. Open, and it was interesting to learn and talk to these people that are obviously help run in this country. That was something pretty cool and special for my wife.
Is that uncomfortable at any point? Are you like, what the hell am I doing at this table? Like, I hit a golf ball. I'm really good at golf, and these people like run the planet. Like, I don't really know what to talk to. What are you guys talking about? If you know nothing about politics and they don't know nothing about golf, what the hell does that conversation look like?
It was,
hey guys,
beautiful
weather.
Very nerve-wracking going into it. I am friends with Brett Baer from Fox. I played a lot of golf with him, so it was at his house and he hosted dinner. So I sat next to him and he kind of emceed the whole thing and kind of eased me and my wife into it a little bit. But it was assigned seating, so my wife's on the other side of the table.
Oh, you're not even next to your wife. You don't have like a parachute right there. Like, hey, if no one's talking to me, I'll just the table, default.
And I'm just. Don't say anything stupid. Don't say anything stupid.
Dude, I couldn't imagine.
Don't ask me a question.
I read USA Today right before I go in, just the headlines. Like, all right, here's 3 things that are happening.
There was a lot of vodka going down, which I think eased it over a little bit. And luckily I got through it. And didn't say anything stupid.
Yeah, that could be uncomfortable.
At least I didn't think. I haven't talked to him
well
about
done.
since then.
I haven't heard that you were an idiot at that dinner, so chances are you did just fine.
So you mentioned some of the texts you got from other athletes, which you're obviously, you said a huge sports guy. Who was your idol growing up? Whether it be in golf or another sport.
Yeah. For me, there was 2. Michael Jordan. I loved playing basketball, so Michael Jordan was the man. I grew up, and I was born in '84, so right when he was going through his heyday in the '90s, that was everything. And then I loved baseball, and George Brett was my guy in Kansas City. He was my dad's favorite player. He's being a Kansas guy, he's a god there still. And it's funny, they always say you don't want to meet your heroes, blah blah. And I've only said hi to Michael Jordan. I don't know him at all, but I've got to know George Brett, and it's unbelievable. He loves golf, loves to have a good time, and it's been that's been a cool relationship that I've had. When I won here in Phoenix 2 years ago, that's before I really knew him too well. He invited me over. I went over with my parents. I think my dad was more excited to go to his house than he was that I won that day. But hanging out with George Brett and getting to know him and pick his mind a little bit, but more importantly, having a good time, having dinners with him. That was my guy growing up, and it's pretty cool now. I pinch myself all the time. Now I get to hang out with him. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, don't ever meet your heroes unless your hero is George Brett. And then meet the hell out of him and hang out with him as much as you can. Dude's a 10 of a guy.
He's the best.
10 of a guy. Well, it wouldn't be a Gary Woodland podcast if we didn't talk about basketball a little bit, right? Every time you're on TV. Hey, by the way, did you guys know he played basketball? And they say that now about like a handful of guys. Like, oh, this guy can really play and this guy can really play. I want you to set the record. This guy can dunk. Like there's 10 guys apparently on PGA Tour that can dunk now.
They can't play.
Exactly. That's what my question is. Is there any dude on tour?
I don't know some of the younger guys.
In a game to 11, is there anyone that can get to 4?
No. Dustin Johnson can dunk. I've seen him do it.
That's different than being able to play basketball.
Correct. His brother can play basketball. His brother played in college. His brother's a good player. Austin can play, but no, there's no way that's going to be.
Just like the video, like Finau dunked, and I was like, oh, he's a basketball player. Like, there's no dude. Let's set the record straight right now. No dude on tour that could hold a candle, could get to 4 in a game to 11, make it take it.
All right, serious
that's
question.
what I figured. I wanted that to be very clear.
If I got to play 60 minutes.
Oh, here we go.
If I got to play every single game in the NBA all season, could I average 1 point a game?
You'd have a heart attack, first of all.
No, why not just stand down at the snowbird down there?
Okay, yeah. Are you playing with LeBron? I mean, who are you playing
No, I'm in the NBA, bud.
Yeah, he's in the NBA.
On LeBron's team, though, or are you just sitting in Phoenix?
I need 1 point a game. Don't hate on the Suns.
Yeah, don't hate the Suns, dude. We're coming.
Yeah.
So what's the question? Could Colt get a bucket
a game like he does?
Answer the question.
No.
You don't think I could get 1 point a game?
No.
The only way you score,
I'll drive and get fouled, flop all over
unless
the place.
your team's winning and they foul you, so you shoot free throws.
If the other team got a technical and you're
throw.
the designated free throw shooter, you could get it. You might be able to crack one of those.
No.
So you're going no.
I'm going no.
I'm insulted.
When you were at Kansas, you came from Washburn. You were playing basketball there. You went to Kayuu to play golf. Did you get a chance to hoop at all with the Kayuu team while you were there?
I didn't.
Like you ever go pick up?
No, and I knew like Brady Morningstar. I played all through high school against Brady Morningstar. He was at KU. He was starting at KU at the time. He got hurt, went to redshirt. So he went to school. He graduated a couple years after I did, just because he redshirted and stuff. But I hung out with those guys a little bit, but I never played with them. It got to a point where when I left, I missed it so much, and I just wanted to. It was the first time in my life I've ever focused on one sport. I've always played multiple sports my whole life. So when I got to KU, all I wanted to do was play golf and try to get better. My whole life, especially growing up where I did, I was better than everybody, everything that I did. When I got to KU, all of a sudden, on a national level, I wasn't better than everybody. I had to work to improve. I was playing 5-man at KU. And it wasn't until really my junior or senior year that I became the better player on the team. So it was a learning process for me. And then I trained the same thing when I turned pro. All of a sudden, now you're going to another level. And I wasn't the best guy again. I had to continue to work and get better. And now I'm to a point where I'm pretty good, but I'm still not anywhere near the best players in the world. So I got to continue to improve.
So that leads into my next question. So you're currently ranked 15th in the world. What's it going to take to get to that top 10, top 5, possibly number 1 in the world?
Yeah, when are you going to get good, Gary?
Yeah. The big deal for me is I think I'm one of the best drivers of the golf ball in the world. I do. I hit it a long way. I'm starting to drive it straighter, which allows me to hit more drivers. And when I do that, I'm having more wedges and short game needs to get better. It needs to get more consistent. Obviously, I did it the 1 week at the U.S. Open, but the putting has to continue to get better, which I think it is. I put a lot of work in with Phil Kenyon. I think we're doing some great things. I'm not really searching anymore on putting. I'm learning to read greens better, learning to get more feel and certain things like that. So I had to continue to improve with that. The ball striking, like I said, has got me to where I am today. I need to continue to do that, but continue to improve a little bit on that. But most of what I need to do is I need to drive the ball in the fairway, and then the wedge game and short game has to take over.
Yeah, and I hate admitting it. And you did have it for that week, and Sleaze will tell you. I've said your chip shot on 17 off the green at Pebble Beach was the shot of the year. Yeah. Like it was.
Colt won't shut up about it.
How people don't understand how hard that is. Like on Tuesday, you can pull that off.
Yeah.
Try it with your buds. I'll just flick it over this tier.
You still might mess it up on Tuesday quite a few times.
Easily.
But Sunday, U.S. Open with the lead, I mean, you would have so many people would have duffed that right in front of them.
Was there
boned it across the green.
any time where you were like, you know what, I'm just going to put this thing down here, 15 footer, maybe I make it, but worst case, I'm making 4.
The
instead
lucky
of like,
deal with that was I had the exact same shot on Thursday, not to that pin, but I hit it on the right side of the green on Thursday. The pin was on the left. So I chipped it off the green on Thursday and got it up and down as well. I hit it to 10 feet and made the putt. When I hit the shot off the tee on 17 on Sunday, my caddy said, hey, you have to chip that. So I had 225 yards the whole time. In my mind, I was chipping it. So I never got to up there. I'm like, should I chip it? Should I putt? I always knew I was going to chip it. And it was kind of funny. Justin Rose, who I'm good buddies with Justin Rose, and that was really the first round of golf we ever played where we didn't talk much. I mean, it was Sunday of a major championship, so I could tell early on the round he wasn't going to talk much. So we hadn't said anything to him. When I hit that chip shot, he came over and gave me a fist pound, and I'm like, that's when it kind of sank in. I'm like, all right, that was pretty good for him to step out of his element and show respect for the shot. That's
when it's cool when a competitor does it. Yeah. And it's like it takes huge balls to even try it, but to pull it off the way you did and kick in and all that, like it's unbelievable. Was there any point where you were like 5 years ago, would you have tried that shot, or was it a development of your short game? They're like, yeah, I'm okay with hitting this now.
It's funny because Colt knows I grew up working with Randy Smith, and my short game when I got to him was atrocious. I mean, I literally couldn't chip the golf ball.
That's being very nice.
So Randy, I chipped at Royal Oaks. He used to have me chip off the greens all the time. And so something I was comfortable with. I used to, before I went to the first tee, I always hit 2 chips off the green. So I had hit the shot, and unfortunately at Pebble, the greens were firm, which I think helps with that shot. If they're soft Poana, that's going to be pretty tough, but the greens were firm. And it was one of those deals. Obviously it was nice to hit it close. I was trying to hit it 15, 20 feet past the hole. I was trying to just get it past so I could take my 4, and hopefully Brooks didn't make eagle. I saw him putting. I didn't know what he was putting for. Once I tapped in, I looked up at the scoreboard and saw that he had made par on the last, and I had a 2-shot lead, which was pretty cool. But I was trying to not make 5. I was trying to make 4, take my medicine, and fortunately pulled off.
So if you're trying to not make 5, you just take the putter out, hit it up there, let it creep down to about 20 feet and say, all right, make it or I don't, but I'm making 4 no matter what. Yeah. If you just want to eliminate 5, I know exactly what I'm doing if I'm trying to eliminate 5
there, though. Point. Brooks gets it up down the last. We got a tie ball game going down 18, and then a whole other thing. We got to figure out where we're going to hit off the tee on 18.
Then you're not hitting iron.
Did you know you had a 2-shot lead on 18?
I did. Once I tapped in, I looked at the scoreboard and they put Brooks finished.
Yeah.
So then there was no doubt of I was going to hit iron. It was a matter of what iron. I told my caddy on the tee, just give me a wedge for my 3rd shot. So we hit 4 iron off the tee, and unfortunately it ran just through the fairway in the first cut. So I'm laying up with 5. I'm like, give me a wedge. He goes, it's a perfect 5 iron to give you a pitching wedge. And I chunked it. I got up there, I hit 8 iron in for my 3rd shot, and that's the last thing you want when you have water left. The only thing you can't do is hit it there. So I had 8 iron. I hit the ultimate cut shot, just making sure it didn't go left, and got up there. I didn't know where it was. I couldn't see the green from where I was hitting. And once I got up there, I knew I had 3 putts to win.
If you had known for sure on 17 before you were chipping that you had that Brooks was done and you were going to have a 2-shot lead, would you have still chipped?
I would have chipped it. I was in the, like I said, when I left that tee box, it was in my mind to chip, and I was going with it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't know if I could handle that pressure.
My hands are sweating right now, dude.
Just thinking about it.
I'm freaking out.
I mean, so obviously 2019 was an incredible year for you. Yeah. I think one of the coolest moments in your life was when you met a young girl here at TPC Scottsdale named Amy.
Yeah.
The whole world has seen what happened that day on number 16 here, where, this girl comes out. I don't know if you knew her at all before. I don't know what your relationship was, but that was one of the most touching moments in golf last year. And I just want to know, what impact has she had on you? And did you give her any advice? And do y'all still talk to this day?
We do talk. I talked to her mom. Her mom won't give her my cell phone because she said she'd never leave me alone. So I do talk to her mom frequently. And Amy will send me videos, whether it's on social media or through her mom's cell phone. She'll send me videos, which is awesome. I did not know her before I met her there on the 16th tee. I knew her story. I'd had that sent to me. I'd seen her golf swing. That day transformed me in multiple ways. It was there for her. The day was there for her, and to her to have a good time. And the impact she had not on me, but millions around the world. 50 million people saw that video. Her attitude, her energy, in the world, when there's so many negative things in this world, that is what the world needs. We need more positive energy. We need more of her. And it's been amazing to stay with her. I'll tell you an impact. And this just happened in Maui a couple weeks ago. I'm playing after a round on Saturday. I'm going through the autograph line, signing autographs, and a kid comes up to me and he says, Hey, Gary, can I talk to you for a second? He said, I have special needs. And he said, that video that I saw with you and Amy makes me believe that I can be a normal kid. And I just want to say thank you. And I mean, I got emotional. I mean, we hugged it out. That's the impact that one person can have. I mean, she has done unbelievable stuff for me and my family. I mean, I think about it all the time. I mean, her attitude, I got this. You know, when things start going bad, I say it to myself a lot. But that impact that had on that kid, I mean, if we can do little things, it can have a positive impact on one person. It's worth every second.
That's incredible. Is that one of the like coolest kind of pinch yourself moments, I guess, that you have to that you come across now that you're like, you are a celebrity, you are a guy that the kids look up to, you are one of the best golfers in the world, and now all of a sudden, instead of just being a guy chasing on the PGA Tour, you are like an idol or a guy that people look up to. Is that one of the coolest things about being where you are in the world of golf right now?
No doubt about it. And things like that, you know, we're in a pretty good position where we get to meet special people. We get to meet, you know, people that do extraordinary things, but you never know where it's going to lead. And that led to a relationship with Amy that I'll have forever. That led to having a positive impact on people's lives. And, you know, like I said, we're in a fortunate position where we're able to do that things, and it's nice to make the most of them. And we definitely made the most of that day.
Yeah, that's special.
I mean, absolutely incredible. And I mean, while we are talking about some kind of deeper things than what we normally do here.
Right, yeah.
Recently, obviously, we lost an absolute legend in this world in Kobe Bryant. And being the basketball fan you are, I'm just kind of, what's your thoughts on Kobe? And I mean, can you believe like the impact he left on this world? I mean, him passing away was a worldwide, I mean, it affected the world.
It was a very emotional day for me and my wife. You know, we actually shed some tears together. Obviously, him being a father, I'm a father. You know, I grabbed my son, you know, yesterday after it happened and just didn't want to let him go. And, you know, Kobe's basketball stats and everything he did on the basketball court, the impact he's had speaks for itself. You can look that up. You can see it. But my images of Kobe are him at the basketball games this year with his daughter, playing basketball with his daughter. You know, he's on a helicopter. He's taking her to a basketball game. He's being a father, and it's the impact he's had on her and his attention to detail and everything that he does, his work ethic that he was instilling in his kids, and that you watch the NBA after it happened and all these guys crying. It's unbelievable the impact he's had throughout the game, off the court, on these people's lives. And that's something that, you know, I don't know. I'd never met Kobe personally, but I think I speak for a lot of people. I feel like I knew him.
Yeah.
And it hit home. You know, he lost his life with his daughter, with, you know, and other family members and people in there in that helicopter. And you feel for those families, you pray for those families, and hopefully I think the world will come together and try to help them through this moment. And it's impacted everybody. Yesterday was a tragic day, I think, for not only the world of sports, but for the world. You look through the media and on every channel, it was talking about Kobe Bryant, and it was hard to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, literally since the time it happened, like, I mean, Sports Center, it's just been total Kobe. I mean, everything, even like, you know, it happened around the final round of the Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines, and like you could just tell the energy was just sucked out of the place. I mean, granted, it happened not too far from there, but like it's just such a huge impact. I mean, they showed, you know, newspaper covers in China and all over the world where Kobe was on the cover.
Yeah, it wasn't just basketball players. There's like every walk of life. Presidents were commenting on it. There's very few people in sports that if they pass away are going to have that kind of impact to where like presidents are coming out and saying how heartbroken they are and things like that. It was just,
I'm going to be honest. It would have been hard for me to play yesterday. Like we were playing a practice round yesterday when I found out, and I ended up putting it on my phone, and I was just so drawn to it and devastated. You know, like we were talking when we found out, we were hoping it was fake.
Yeah.
Like you just didn't want it to be real. And, you know, Tiger Woods, his caddy didn't tell him to after the round because I think he knew the impact it would have had on Tiger yesterday. I mean, Tiger was obviously emotionally distraught after the round talking about it. Who he was actually personally friends with him. So it was a devastating day. But I mean, he will live on forever. His impact, both on and off the basketball court, is something that we can all look up to.
Yep. That's very well said. And I want to ask you one last serious question. Then we're going to change the tone here and get into some fun stuff here. But you mentioned Kobe being a father and now you being a father and things like that. How has your perspective changed in the way you view golf? Like, obviously, you aspire to be the best golfer in the planet. Yeah. You want to be as best as you can. But now that you're a father, how has fatherhood changed the way you look at golf? Has it changed the way you kind of like, this isn't life and death out here. I want to be the best. But you know what? At the end of the day, there are things that are more important.
I think it's made me a better golfer from the standpoint when I'm at the golf course. I know I have to work, because when I get home, when I used to 4 years ago, when I went home, that's all I thought about was golf, golf, golf. When I go home now, don't have time to that. I got a kid climbing all over me. I got, 2 baby girls screaming and crying. I don't have time to think about that. And from that, it's made me, when I'm at the golf course, I get my work in and I'm more detailed and more focused when I'm there. On the other side of that, when I played bad at Torrey Pines. When I get home, my son doesn't know what I shot. So it puts it in perspective real quick. He doesn't care. It kind of helps me kind of get over that a lot quicker, which has been good. But I have a long road ahead. We have 3 kids, 2.5 and under, and luckily my wife is amazing and does everything for me. I don't have to do much outside of playing golf and being there and being a good dad. She takes care of everything, which is good.
Yeah, she's in the trenches.
Yeah,
she's got a lot going on. The trenches. I got one young one too, and I got one. You got 3. It's the trenches.
She's
real life.
She's good.
And so, sorry, you said that was the last serious one. I got one more.
Oh, one more serious one. We're getting real serious today. I like this. We're digging in a little bit.
Deep.
Gary Uncut.
So, Gary, when I mention the names Durkheim, Marks, and Weber, what do they mean to you?
Good question, Colt.
Dirks?
Durkheim, Marks, and Weber.
Those names ring a bell?
No.
Oh, weird.
Well, Gary, you majored in sociology at Kansas, and they're the founding fathers of sociology. So, obviously,
Kansas is listening to this right now.
I've been out of school for
they're the founding fathers of what you majored
12
in.
years ago.
It'd be like majoring in history and being like, what are the names Washington and Lincoln mean to you? I have no
I
idea.
was thinking Dirks Nowitzki, Webb Simpson.
That is fantastic.
KU admin right now is like, erase that.
Please delete that. We're so
His
screwed.
diploma's fake. It was an honorary diploma.
I graduated with flying colors.
That's
something like that.
Yeah, with flying. Yeah, it shows. You're that major. God, I hate to see what you minored in. Shit.
That's great. So obviously, you're a Kansas boy. Born and bred. We've shared a lot of meals together. A lot of good times together. For a while, you never ate anything but steak and potatoes, meat and potatoes, basically.
Literally.
I mean, never anything.
It doesn't
green.
surprise me.
You
seem like a meat and potatoes guy.
Kansas.
You've recently adopted. You kind of eat some green things every once in a while now.
Slowly, but I'm not all the way there. But I'll eat some like broccolini. I'll eat Brussels sprouts on the rare occasion. So I didn't eat rice till I got to college. I mean, I literally grew up on fast food.
You didn't eat rice?
No, I grew up on fast food.
How do you get 18 years old and never have some rice?
Because they don't have that at McDonald's.
A good point.
Yeah.
It's a good point. Okay, so saying that, I know you hate anything from the water. You won't go in the water, anything.
No.
And you're a diehard KU basketball fan.
Yep.
Would you rather eat an oyster or never watch a KU basketball game again?
Oh, gosh.
Tough question.
On the spot.
I mean, you say oyster, too. Like, could you find anything grosser than
Oh, they're so good.
Oh, my God.
I'd never have had an oyster.
But
they look terrible.
if you're saying that, I'm probably going to eat one.
I mean, it's not
You
going
got
to kill
to.
you.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. Some people die from mercury, from fish and all that stuff.
I love that that's what you're paranoid about.
For Rock Chalk Nation, I think you got to take that oyster.
Yeah, I would take that.
You got to
Okay,
take
good.
that down.
I'm glad you support your team.
Don't you put Tabasco or something on that?
Yeah,
Tabasco
you
is
put
the
anything you want on it.
preferred condiment for oysters as far
I
as
would
I know.
cake something on there before I eat that.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
All right, that's fair. I'm not a big oyster guy either, so I'm with you on that. I want to talk to you about something that doesn't get a lot of attention. I feel like it should, and that is your strut, the way that you walk around the golf course. I feel like it's not brought up enough. You have a very confident strut. Chest is out, almost like a peacock with the feathers out and all that. I feel like you've worked your way into, arguably, you're in the conversation for best strut in the game of golf. But I don't remember this, Colt. You can back me up on this. I don't remember this from 10 years ago, the Gary strut being exactly what it is now. Have you morphed into this strut, or was this something you always had?
That's all I know.
You're on TV more.
I would walk different if I knew how. That's just all I know how.
That's just how. Yeah. It's a good strut. This is my hierarchy of struts. I'm not gonna in no order. These are just the top. It's you. DJ has a very good strut. Yep. Brooks has now somehow morphed his way into, he has a very big strut, similar to yours, chest out, slow, very.
It's called like chest press, and that's what the.
Is that what it is? If you're just in the gym, it looks like it.
Little and
and weak. Just say it. There you go. Yeah. All right. Cut that and post that.
Do some chest press and your chest gets
Rory.
bigger.
So it's not the walk. Rory has like a bounce.
Yeah,
Rory is like a happy
all those
little.
four guys, me, myself, Rory, Brooks, we all lift weights.
True. You think that's what it is? If you're jacked, you walk like that? Who else is? Anyone else that's strong out there?
Bryson's pretty jacked now.
Are you worried about Bryson now taking over as like one of those? Like, no. I feel like right now it's you, DJ. I just named them all. Brooks, Rory. you're the strong guys, and now here comes Bryson. Dude, he's in that gym, though.
No.
You're not worried about that.
I'm not.
You catch Bryson in an alley, you're not worried about that?
No, Bryson's too nice.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he's a nice guy.
You in the octagon against Bryson, I don't think it's close, to be
No.
honest.
Bryson's a nice guy. He's a teddy bear.
He's super nice. But saying that, talking about lifting weights and gym, do you think the future golf, it's kind of already gone that way, but do you think all the kids coming out now are going to be big, strong, fast athletes?
I do. I think Tiger Woods changed that for everybody. Growing up, you didn't lift weights. Everybody said that was bad for golf.
I agree.
And now Tiger's out there and looking jacked and doing his thing, and he looks like an athlete out there. And the game's getting bigger. Last week at Torrey Pines, the golf course was so big. The rough was nasty. And you look at the guys that are Leishman and John Rahm and the guys that are up there on top of the leaderboard, they're all bombers who have the ability to get it out of that thick rough. You need the speed and you need the power to do that. And I think the game is trending towards that.
Do you need muscles, though? Because, they're skinny guys.
No.
Like, Justin Thomas ships it. He's
Correct.
tiny. He's $150 probably. Like, you don't have to have it. But I feel like you're like a built, like Justin Thomas, no matter what he does, he's never going to be you or Brooks or whatever. But, it's not vital. It's just a thing that I think the bigger guys are going to. Like, it's a nice asset to have, but not mandatory.
It is. It's all, when I train now, I train to stay healthy. I'm not out there trying to get jacked. I don't have the six pack and everything that, everybody's fighting over right now.
Bryson has one. He said it. Bryson apparently has a six pack, so maybe time to tone up a little bit.
Brooks' comeback was unbelievable.
That was the best mic drop of Twitter that I've seen in the golf world. Yeah. I haven't heard from him since.
Brooks is funny. Tweeted? Like we need to get Brooks to get out more because Brooks is funny. But yeah, I train to stay healthy. I'm not out there trying to look great for everybody. I'm out there trying to stay healthy.
But like you talk about the Brooks and Bryson six pack little Twitter war they had. Don't you think we need more rivalries in golf where guys don't enjoy each other?
Yes.
Like, it makes it more fun.
I think that was the deal. Like back in the day, you had Tiger and Phil going back and forth, and then they became friendly, and you're like, gosh, no, we want those guys to. I think it was more fun when you had Bird and John.
Yes,
Magic. You had these guys that didn't like each other playing, even if they're friends off. They didn't seem like they liked each other on there. We definitely need more in that in golf, and I think that's. I think that's what's great about Brooks. Brooks is not afraid to say anything. Rory's not afraid. Justin Thomas is not afraid. I think it shows that they're the top players in the world. They're not afraid of anybody.
Do you think we'll see some more of that? You got anyone in your eyesight right now? You want to take a shot?
Now that Colt's not playing anymore.
Yeah, Colt's the obvious guy to go at. Yeah.
My rival.
People love coming at me.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me. I'll beat anybody.
Yes, there we go. I love that.
I mean, Patrick Reed's trying his hardest.
He really
to get this thing going. And you were paired with him in the Bahamas when all this happened.
Oh, yeah.
Can you please explain to us, just to give us a little, you don't have to go all the way into it, but a little, what in the hell happened? And where were you when this was happening?
First of all, I had 100 yards. He had 50. I hit it to a foot. So I was no backstopping. I was being nice and I was going up there to tap in is what I was doing. And I was walking off the green. I was actually talking to Bones, and he was in a not very good spot. He had an unbelievable shot, and Bones and I both said, wow, that shot was unbelievable from where he was. And then a couple holes later, I had heard that there was some question of what happened if he grounded his club on 11. When we got done, we walked into the scoring trailer. He knew none of this. He didn't know any of it until we got done. Slugger White, the head rules official, is sitting in there. They had a TV in there, and it was on replay, just loop. You could just see the thing over and over again. And to be honest with you, he owned it right then and took it. And then, I think he was trying to defend himself or whatever in the media. I think if he would have just said the same thing he said in the scoring trailer to Slugger White, he's like, I didn't mean to do that. I wish there was another camera angle that could show that it was not in my intent. I think it would have been a lot better, but here's the deal. Patrick Reed, there's nobody that plays better with people hating him than him. I mean,
it's incredible.
Yeah, I think
what he did the next day. I mean, people forget he went out the next day and shot 6 under after all the media backlash and everything he did. And then show him in the President's Cup when he was getting roughed up. I was there. It was bad. I mean, to be honest with you,
you can tell us some of the stuff that was said. If
it
you want.
was
We're
it was
fine
bad.
with that.
I mean, they're cussing him out. They're this that. I mean, the fans were ruthless down there, screaming about my mom. I mean, it was some bad stuff, but. He showed up on Sunday when he hadn't, he'd lost 3 matches. He showed up on Sunday and played better than anybody. I mean, the guy has a knack for playing him against the world better than anybody. So more power to him on that.
Yeah, he likes that chip on his shoulder.
He
it
does.
Seems like, but
And
you got into the President's Cup there, which is a great segue. What was you were mentioning what the fans were like? They were screaming at him. It was tough, no doubt. We could see it on TV, and I'm sure we saw 1/100th of what was going on out there. What was it like in the team room? Was everybody you rally around Patrick Reed, knowing that he's going through all this, or was it kind of weird being like, hey, that didn't really look good? I don't know what was going on, or what was that like?
When you come into a team, event like that, there's every team has somebody that you hate the guy if he's on your if he's not on your team,
right?
You love him if you're on your team, and we know. And you ask Tiger Woods picked Patrick Reed for a reason, because under the gun, you want Patrick on your team, you really do. Whether you like everything that goes on with around it or not, you like him on your team. And so that was the whole deal in there. We wanted him. We were trying to support him on Sunday. He'd obviously had a rough go, with his brother-in-law, Knost, who I think was just really defending, to be honest, with my opinion, when he was just defending Patrick. I mean, that they had just lost, again, and the match, people were getting crazy in their face, and he'd had enough of it. And, unfortunately, he got a little physical with somebody, but it is what it is. He was defending his caddy or his player to a point.
Yeah, that's not on Patrick.
So I don't have a problem with any of that happened. And Patrick showed up on Sunday, and we were all there supporting him. And like I said, he went out and got us a point that we desperately needed. And so in the middle of that, the team was all supportive and all ready to go for him.
Yeah, and I've been saying this for years. Like, it's unfortunate the thing happened with Patrick, with his brother-in-law pushing the guy or whatever happened. But I've said it for years. These fans think that rope or the boundary of the court or the field, that they can just say whatever they want. And it's like trash talking and all that's fun. I love it. But some of these people get really personal. And I've said someone from the NBA court, someone from the baseball diamond is going to just bolt into the crowd. And finally they had enough.
Yeah, you see it in other sports too. It's crazy.
Granted, in football and stuff, you can't hear what they're saying. I mean, in golf, they think that rope is just
a force
wall.
Field. Like, they can't get me past this.
I'm like, you can't say some of the stuff you say. Like, if you said that out at a bar one night, it's not going to end well.
Yeah, and we're closer than any other sport. We're closer to the fans because half the time, half of us are outside. Not you. We're outside the road sitting there. We're in the middle of the people. So we're literally. You can touch us. We can touch. Whatever it is. So it is. And the more alcohol that gets flowing later in the days, Phoenix Open, you just hope nothing happens. It helps now we have cops with every group. Security's been beefed up, but it is a little scary sometimes. It seems like the fans continue to get closer and closer to where we're walking. And, you always have somebody that, unfortunately you have the one person out there that says something and, sometimes it gets taken out of hand, unfortunately.
Don't be afraid to crack somebody if they look at you wrong, Gary. I know you won't. This is all good. So we got a new little segment that we're going to do here. We call it Emergency 9. It's 9 questions, personal questions, some a little bit of golf questions, but mostly just get to know Gary. For all these guys, you're a superstar now, so everybody knows you, but deep inside of Gary, that's where we want to go. You with me? So this is called Emergency 9. Don't think too much about the questions, but we're going to fire off 9 in a row. I'll go first. Just get to know Gary a little bit. So one favorite movie.
Top Gun.
God, it's incredible.
God, that's a hot
movie. Me too.
That's a hot one.
Second one coming out. Let's go.
Yeah, you ready for that?
Yes.
Is Val
worried.
Kilmer in that? I've heard he's gone weird off the deep end.
In the movie, though.
Is he in it? He's resurfaced?
I don't know that.
I get nervous when these superstar hits.
This is a long time from the first one.
I know, but look at what's happening with Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber was the epic one. They haven't really.
Top Gun was
worked
perfect.
out.
It was. Not
Name one that's a classic. They were the sequel. You're like, yeah, that was great too. Haven't
maybe
been
like
a lot.
Die Hard. All their things.
Haven't been a lot,
but not many.
Yeah, but Top Gun's more of a classic than.
All right.
All right, go.
Stay on the topic of movies. If there was going to be a movie made about you, who would play you?
This is one of my favorite questions to ask people.
Denzel
movie
Washington.
about your Denzel.
Okay, wait.
No, that's a good answer, dude. I can see it a little bit.
Why
Because I
wouldn't
take this seriously.
Unbelievable. He's my favorite actor. He would.
I
play
take
me in a
this
heartbeat.
seriously.
Yeah.
I take this very seriously.
fine.
I think that's a great response. Colt, I'm going to give you a
I
chance
love
for a
Denzel
rebuttal.
Washington, by the way.
You pick who plays Gary. You're the director, so you have all casting privileges.
Oh, man, I didn't know you were going to do this.
No, this is just off the top. I have one that I've thought
who
of
do you got?
just right now.
Brad
Denzel, very good answer. Brad Pitt? No, he's out. Way too old for you now, dude.
Okay.
I got to go current. I'm going Chris Evans. He's a dude. You know who he is.
No.
He's like one of the superheroes. Somebody help me out here. He's in a bunch of stuff. If you Google him right now,
I
you
thought
know
of
him.
one. It's
he was in
kind of a
Not Another
compliment to
Teen
Gary,
movie.
though.
Remember him?
No, I
Who?
haven't seen that.
Not Another Teen movie. Have you seen him? He's the main dude.
No.
What's he in? Captain America.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what he is. He's a
Oh,
superhero.
great. I'll
yeah.
take that.
Chris Evans. He kind
I'll
of
take
similar look, similar build. You're not as jacked as he is, but you could work on it. I think he'd be good.
I hate to say it, but what is it? Matt Hardy?
Oh yeah,
Hardy.
I know
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Matt Hardy.
He played Bane.
Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy. That's
Bane
Hardy.
from
Baseball
Batman?
player.
Oh, dude.
Gosh,
that's like,
it's a
maybe
big compliment.
these are way too nice.
Yeah.
These are way too
love
nice.
this
of
show.
me. Tom
Can I come
Hardy would
back
be
on
like
this show?
the dream guy to play you at any point. All right. Because I love these questions so much. Who plays Colt and who plays me? Go. You're the director. Fire. I have mine.
Just remember how nice we were.
I have mine. Yeah, we just gave you nice.
Oh, you
we
should hear
normally
who
dump
thinks
them.
plays him.
Mine's
It's unbelievable.
obvious. You won't get it, but you'll know it's obvious once I say it.
Can it be anybody? Can they be alive or not?
Yeah, you can
Not
go
alive?
different eras if you want. We'll open it up.
I'll let Chris Farley play Colt.
Oh, that's
I'm perfectly fine with that.
tip the cap to that one. That's a nice one. All right, now the sleeves.
And
It's a big roll, dude. There's only a few guys that can play it.
Oh, what's his name? What's the guy from 40-Year-Old Virgin? What's his name?
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell.
Oh, okay.
Never thought of him.
like
Wouldn't be
it.
mad at it.
Yeah.
Comedy genius. If I'm building my own movie, Jamie Foxx, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it
that'd
because
be
he's a badass.
exactly. See, Gary
go.
gets it. Gary, he
That's
gets
what-
it. That's
go on
literally
with
one of my favorite
Like, who
questions
wanted
asked.
Denzel to be them in a movie?
Denzel's be the
best.
top 3 guy you could. It'd be
Go
Brad
on.
Pitt, Denzel.
Go on with the questions.
No, I love that question. All right, that's a great. Oh, it's, all right. Celebrity crush, either now or when you're growing up.
And male or female.
Jennifer Aniston.
Current day, Jenny or Jenny
Perfectly fine.
Friends,
Like,
early Friends Jenny.
early
She looks
friend-
the
I mean,
exact same,
she
but so it's
does.
the
I
same
mean-
answer either way.
Jennifer Aniston. Love her.
Yeah, she's coming back. Rumor is she and Brad Pitt are getting back together, so might want to get on that if you're gonna make a move.
The
Just keeping you posted. Colt, who's yours?
TMZ
Let's just
over
do
here.
all of us since we're all in the same room.
I told you mine. Margot Robbie
Oh yeah, she's great too.
Mm-hmm.
Well played.
That's good.
is your male celebrity crush. Jamie Foxx as well.
Jamie Foxx again. Across the board, any celebrity question is Jamie Foxx.
Perfect.
I got mine would be J Lo and or nope, scratch that. 1A Halle Berry, 2 J Lo.
Love Halle
Booked.
Berry too. Yeah, I mean, can't go. wrong.
Halle Berry from like James Bond and Swordfish and all that. Yeah.
All right, this is always fun. Who's the most famous person in your phone besides me?
Tiger Woods.
That's famous.
That'll do it.
That's who's more famous in the world. Who could you say that'd be more famous? Trump?
Michael Jordan.
Maybe a president? Yeah, maybe Jordan. Probably Jordan's one.
I'll trade you Michael Jordan's number for Tiger Woods' number.
That's
Okay.
a fair trade.
Sorry, guys.
And let's call him right
Tiger,
now.
he didn't get it from me.
Let's call him right now. All right, next question. If you could trade places with anyone in the world for 1 year, who would it be? You don't got to be them forever, but just like that'd be fun to be for a year. Who you got? Don't say an athlete. Go
Don't say
outside.
an
that.
athlete.
He
Yeah,
can say
go.
whoever he wants.
I like to add parameters to my questions. It's easy to say like LeBron. That'd be fun. Dunk on people's heads.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
great, especially for you. A real
Derek
hooper.
Jeter when he was playing.
Jeter, not
good
for
one.
for a litany of reasons.
I know why too.
For a litany of reasons for Derek Jeter,
Very,
he would be
very
At
good.
his heyday.
But you can go in entertainment. You can go in entertainment. You can go outside. Just don't say the obvious. LeBron would be obvious.
Derek
Leonardo-
Jeter's a good one.
Derek Jeter's good. I'll allow that. Give me 1B.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay. Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's correct.
that,
That's the correct answer.
why do you pick these guys? It's just so
They're
so weird. to
obviously
me.
seem like good guys.
Yeah.
How would you
exactly.
not? Are you disputing the Leo
No,
call? I mean, that's a
Love
dude,
it.
That's poke a hole in that one right now. Tell me why Leo's life sucks right now, and I'll listen to
He
it.
makes $40 million
Okay,
a
yeah,
movie, and
he's gonna be in the best movie of the year. He's not married, he flies around and on yachts
Models.
and stuff.
once,
Yeah,
once
and-
his supermodel girlfriend turns 28, she's out, and he goes
Yeah.
back to a younger one again.
Yeah,
What
he's
a
like
deal.
Matthew McConaughey from what Days of I
Yes.
get older, they stay the same
Yep.
age. That's his motto. That's on his tombstone. All right, keep
All
going.
right.
That's a good answer.
Number 6, best golf shot you've ever hit.
This one should be easy for you.
I'm gonna have to go 2 because I'm gonna say the chip shot on 17 and then the 3-wood I hit on 14. I mean,
Wow, same tournament. Oh,
that
nice.
won me the golf tournament. I mean, it's obviously the biggest one in my career, but I had a 1-shot lead over Brooks. I could hit that ball out of bounds. I could have lost the golf tournament with that golf shot, and I hit a 3-wood from 265 uphill into the wind and knocked it up there to make birdie. That was the best golf swing I've ever had.
That's good.
Good.
And they're both from the same tournament,
Yep.
and you end up hoisting it at the end. Good one. Okay, all right. On the other side of that, most embarrassing moment you've ever had on the golf course. Have you ever topped one? Have you ever topped a 3-wood? 3-wood's very toppable, even for great players. I've seen it.
Friday's round
Oh, he got one.
of East Lake Tour Championship this past year, I got 50 yards. I'm playing great. It might have actually been Saturday. Anyway, it's the last hole. I got 50 yards, and I'm in the rough, back pin. There's a million people around, Colt knows this because he lit me up and sent me a video afterwards. I was trying to hit a flop shot, and I straight up bladed it straight. Flew the people. I hit it 100 yards. It was 50 yards to the flag. I flew it
I'll take the over on 100.
Flew into the clubhouse.
With your club head speed, there's no way it only went 100.
Ended up making triple from 50 yards. I was so because the problem was I had to walk up to get my ball to come all the way back. So I had to walk through
all the
10 rows of people. The grandstands are all there. Everybody's on 18.
What year was that? Was that this year?
That was this year.
After you won, too. They're like, oh, this is our U.S. Open champion.
Yeah. Watch the shot. Oh, my gosh.
Looks like a guy from my member guest.
That was really bad.
That's a tough one.
Me and Gary have this relationship where we do mess with each other quite a bit. Obviously, he has a lot more shots I can make fun of because they're on TV a lot more than me.
Right.
But immediately, like, no matter if I'm ever on TV and I do something, like my first really good finish was at Hilton Head in like 2012. I had like 8 feet to finish, tied for second, and I missed it. And the first text I get is, "Do you have any idea how much money that cost you?" And then in Malaysia, like 2 years later, he has a 3-footer to tie for second and horseshoes it so bad, and I film it and send it to him, and I just go, "Whoops!" Like,
that's a special friendship.
It's
like did you three-whack the last hole at the Players one year to miss the course? You're going to set the course record.
That was stupid. I wouldn't have done that.
What an idiot! I would have birdied it and just set it out right.
I think it was something like, "Do you have any idea that you just missed the course record because of that?"
Do you know how many great players that played? You could have beat all of them, but instead he three-whacked it like a complete lair.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that was me. All right, number 8. Obviously, big basketball
I like
guy.
this one
This
too.
is a good one.
This will be good.
What NBA player most resembles your basketball game? Current day NBA player. Or we can do
I'll open it up. You could go outside of it, but this is one I'm very interested in hearing.
Steph Curry.
Oh, Steph.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
He's got Denzel, Leo, and Steph for his 3 guys right now.
Love yourself more.
Yeah.
Love yourself more.
Steph, we both shoot it. We both love golf.
Pretty much
got handles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're identical. Uncanny, the similarities between you two.
That's pretty much
incredible.
Steph, is that the real answer? That's your game? All right. I love that that's the real answer.
Steve Kerr's not playing anymore. He just sat out there and shot. I would take Steve
Reddick. You could have a Reddick. You could have a JJ Reddick type of a guy.
He went to Duke, so I got to...
I thought you were going to say like Tyler Hero or something like that.
I like Tyler Hero.
He's so nice.
So nice. Same agency.
Oh, he reps him. You should hang out. You should play him.
He's in Miami. He's down in the 305.
He is Mr. 305.
Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to tell you mine. You didn't ask it, but I'm going to tell you it because people will want to know. I'm Lou Williams.
Gosh.
Instant buckets. No D, just
First
buckets.
off, you have to start being asked the questions.
No, but I asked these with us in mind. I want to get everyone involved. This is Gary's show.
Gary yet. We're going to tell you all about Drew.
This is Gary's show, but it's a get to know everyone. We're young in this podcast world. People need to know us a little bit. Okay, last question of the E9. You got a 10-foot putt for your life. It's on the line. Who do you want to putt it? Me or Colt?
Colt.
Didn't even hesitate.
The interview's over.
We haven't played together since college.
This one will never be aired. Oh, yeah, you did. The last time we played in college was the first time he ever won in college. I had no idea who he was. I showed up, and I was like, who is this kid from Kansas? I remember this distinctly. I'll tell this story real quick. We're playing in Sand Creek. What state is that? Ohio. We're in Ohio, dude. It poured rain.
First off, y'all argued about the name of this golf course for an hour the other night.
Sands Creek or Sand Station, something like that.
I still don't remember.
You won the tournament.
I won. I
show some respect to the tournament, dude.
Cleveland State hosted.
Cleveland State was the host. That's where regionals were going to be. We're all up there. I hit driver off the first tee. Never met Gary. Didn't know him. Nothing about him. Hit driver off the first tee. Boom. Pipe it just like I do. Probably a slight bomb. Not a super bomb, but a slight bomb. And I put the head cover on him like I'm going to kill this kid. We're both in the hunt, by the way. This is like the last group. This is like the only time I contended. And put my head cover. I'm like, I'm going to destroy this kid from Kansas. Never heard of him. He gets up with an iron. It's like a long par 4. I'm like, what is this? How shook must he be with the driver to be pulling out iron right now? This guy's got nothing. He hits this iron, and it flies like 5. There's 0 roll. It flies like 10 yards past my driver that I just hit pretty good. And I like looked. I was like, oh my god! Like, is this like this has to be a flash in the pan? Otherwise, I would hurt this kid. He can't be that good. Sure enough, he goes around, wins this thing, launched his whole career. And I got back in the van that day after the tournament. I was like, guys, I don't know if you've ever heard of this kid from Kansas, but he's going to be really freaking good. He's hitting 2 irons, 300 in the air right now. And none of y'all in this van can mess with that kid. And sure enough, I had the eye. Here he is, U.S. Open champion.
I could have hit driver then off the planet, by the way.
I've seen it.
Yeah, that's probably
I hit it so much farther in college. It was unbelievable.
Isn't that scary? That
dude, he was hitting
30, 40 further in college.
Stupid bombs to the point where I never hated myself. There was like 2 guys in college. I tell a story who was so much better, like the guys that you knew right away. One is you. When I saw that round, you won that tournament. You probably didn't do much after that, but you had a good week that week. And the other one was Anthony Kim. I was like, I'll never beat him.
We played with him
never
beat him. Big 12. He was so good. It was
so talented.
I'm kind of offended you didn't say me, but that's because you never got paired with me in college.
I was playing 5 a lot this week. I
was pretty nasty in college.
Yeah. That's where me and Gary played the 5 our first couple of years for a while. We were 5 guys. We were sinners on the squad.
Well, Gary, man, that was a lot of fun. Couldn't thank you enough for taking the time. You're one of the best dudes out there. I freaking hate admitting that.
I love that.
Gosh,
I need this.
No, this is good. This is bonding.
It is recorded.
It's good that you're sharing.
But thank you so much for being on the Subpar podcast, man. We really appreciate it.
You're a legend.
Best. Hope to come
Thanks,
back.
dude. Absolutely. And that was our interview with U.S. Open champion Gary Woodland, and what an interview it was. Learned a lot of stuff about Gary that I didn't know, namely that his sociology major from the University of Kansas is complete trash, seeing that he didn't know the godfathers of sociology. So the University of Kansas is probably trying to revoke that as we speak. Also, he has the palate of a 5-year-old. Only ate the same food till he's like 17.
It's true.
Yeah.
I've shared a lot of dinners with Gary, and it's 100% true. He has started to experiment a little bit here and there, but he's not kidding. It was
he's
straight
meat potatoes guy.
First off, his mom and his now wife used to cut up his food for him at all times.
Is that true?
Oh, that's
used
true.
to slice it up.
Sorry to bury you there, Gary, but it's 100%
like a mom
true.
that cuts the crust off of your PB and J.
100%,
Can't eat it without it.
But what a great guest he was. Like we said, U.S. Open champ. Hit some unbelievable shots coming down the stretch. I said the shot of the year last year when he hit the chip off the 17th green. Couldn't thank him enough for taking the time to spend with us here on the Subpar podcast. But what a great guy.
Wow, what a stud. Thank you for taking the time. We hope you guys enjoyed that interview. And to tease next week, this is a big deal for me, Colty. Our next guest next week, Kiradek Alfie Barnrat in the house, in the flesh, right here in the studio. This guy, my #1 favorite PGA Tour player on the planet. Loved him for years. This was a treat to sit down with him. He hasn't done a ton of interviews stateside now that he's playing here full time, but this one was cool. This one was fun, and I got to learn a lot of stuff about him that I didn't know.
He was incredible. Vape pen and all. The guy is he's great. I mean, he's known as the Asian John Daly, but he's just the nicest, coolest guy.
The nicest.
Just loves life, loves playing golf.
Lives how all of us want to live, but don't have the balls to live like that.
In a great sense of humor, and speaks incredible English.
I don't know why more people aren't jumping on that.
I'm Team Kiradek.
I'm Team Kiradek. We're going to need one of his shirts immediately, but this dude was
supposed to be sending them to us, so we'll rock it one day on the show.
I'll wear it every show. It'll be our uniform from now on. I got no problem with that.
You get to spend an evening. You can do whatever you want.
I like these.
An evening with Kiradek, Halle Berry.
Oh, Jesus. That's really, you're really hitting me from all angles right now. Yeah, that's the tough one. You know, this is, if there's one person in the world that I would take over Kiradek, you might have just named her. Halle Berry. If I get a chance with Halle, all bets are off.
All right. Sorry, Kiradek.
That'll probably happen too, you know?
Perfect. All right. Well, that was great, Sleaze. Another great episode. You can follow us online. No, don't say that. That's stupid. That was great, Sleazy. Another great episode. Hit us up on social media. I am at Colt Knost.
I'm at the Sleazy Man, fresh onto Instagram for the first time. I'm still learning my ways around there, but I'm live.
And check us out at
golf_subpar.
That's right.
Check that out. We'll have some exclusive photos, including Kiradek, our boy, blowing the biggest vape cloud you've ever seen in the history of life, right here next week on Golf Subpar. Thank you guys so much for listening. See you next week.